What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Ja Gorgeous Imani Jari, back again with another video. I just wanted to come and check in before I started really going in on today's video to say that if you are somebody who is in Jersey and you are from Central Jersey area, definitely stop at this place downtown Newark. I just had a meeting with one of my advisors, mentors, I guess you could say. I love her so much. We met at this cafe downtown on Halsey, and I don't want to butcher the name of this either, but I think it's called Kali's. This cafe was so cute. This was something that they definitely need to add to the menu. Or if you go there, ask for the pistachio. I will leave the name and the picture of the drink when I first got it, because I literally been sipping on this because it's so good and I'm trying to preserve it. But anyway, long story short, I'm gonna come back and check in with y'all later for today's video. I just wanted to say that if y'all have time, go check out this drink, because this drink was rocking, son. I ain't even gonna hold you, 10 out of 10 recommend. I don't even really taste the coffee. I don't even know if this had espresso, but the mixed pistachios in this taste so fire. I wish I had the recipe, because this is something that I would try to make at home. I ain't even gonna hold you. When I go out to places, and this is the last thing that I'll say about this, because I feel like I'm chatting. When I go out, I'm very picky about wanting to go out to eat, wanting to try specifically new restaurants and things like that, because one, I just feel like places don't be seasoning their food, and then two, I have a very sensitive stomach, so it's not a lot of things that I can eat. Also in this, it has oat milk. Fire. Okay, it has been so good on my stomach, and it was it just blended in so well that, like I said, I just feel like it complemented all the other flavors. This is giving 10 out of 10, I promise. Whoa. Woo. It tastes like they put a chocolate bar in here or something. It gotta be, because that was thick. But anyway, that was good. 10 out of 10. I might not even finish this because it's becoming too much. But I'll check in with y'all later. I'm about to get my day started officially. I'm not doing any vlogs right now. I really actually have something to talk to y'all about. And the conversation that I just had with my advisor was confirmation. I don't know how the day is going to plan out. So I might record some clips of what I'm doing and then do a voiceover. Or I might actually have a conversation to sit down and talk with y'all. As you can tell, like I said, this is natural. I'm thinking on the spot. My one primary goal right now is just showing up on the platform and making sure that I'm here every single day. This right now is going to be the beginning of this vlog, but I don't want it to be too long. So I'm only going to show y'all clips of what I'm doing. So you guys, it's Ja again from the future. Honestly, if you've been catching up or staying in tune, I don't even know how that phrase goes right now, because if I'm being transparent, it is currently in real time Thursday. I originally recorded that video on Tuesday, or was it Wednesday? Child, I don't even know. That just goes to show you the amount of fatigue I have, low key, even though it's really zero fatigue. Shout out to Big Smeety Jakes. If you know, you know. But all seriousness, it was yesterday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Yesterday was a huge day because I reconnected, like I was telling y'all, my advisor from high school. But when we got to where we were at, we also saw two different people from the school, obviously, that I attended. But it was so crazy because those two people who had two different experiences with me. One of the people who I was with was someone who I actually known longer. We went to middle school together and high school. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about the structure of that, but those who get it, get it. The other person was somebody who I just went to high school with. But long story short, it was under the same umbrella as far as the name and the network. But we went to two different campuses from middle school. So that's why, even though we were in the school at the same time, we didn't see each other. It would meet really until high school officially. So that was so nice. It turned out so well. And I was able to have a conversation with the girl that I graduated with. And the other girl, we were just seeing each other in passing, but it was still good. Before I say anything else, I just want to say, excuse my tone and my energy right now, because when I say a day was had, a week has been had, and the week is not even done yet, I'm equally proud of myself for all the things that I feel like I've accomplished so far this week. But at the same time, I do feel exhausted. And I'm trying to figure out balance in a healthier way. That's something that I've been working on for a very long time now. There are days when I feel like I am making progress, and then there are days like today's where it's like it literally took everything out of me. And I'll get to that in a second. But this week in general has just honestly been a week that I've been anticipating for a long time. I've known that it was going to be crazy because there was a lot of major changes that was happening in this week or new things that was happening in this week. But all things are good and all things are working together, and I'm super excited and I'm super blessed to be able to be surrounded by people who not only are investing in me and supporting me, but is genuine and they truly want to see me grow, and they are holding me accountable and pushing me to step out of my comfort zone. And I truly feel like that's what I need right now in this point in my life, because I'm trying to do things that are not the norm in the company that I normally keep, just because, me and my friends, honestly, I love my friends down, but we all have unique interests to ourselves, or the things that we share similarities in are not necessarily things that I feel like are connected to the areas in my life right now as an adult that I'm trying to grow and expand in. So they're not always on the scene or always present, which is fine. Again, love them down, but I just need to be surrounded by more like minded people in the designated areas that I want to focus on and tap into. For example, entrepreneurship. I am very reclusive when it comes to being surrounded by other entrepreneurs, not necessarily who are in the same niche or field as me, if you would say, but just entrepreneurs in general, to see how people who are running their own businesses have the mindset behind how they operate it. Is it intentional? What's the purpose and the mission and the vision behind your business that drives you? Like, I hate to sound cheesy, but what's your reason why? So ultimately, I think that my mindset is also changing about my approach even to business. And as you can see in this video right now, I'm currently packing up from one salon to transition to move into another salon, which is a bittersweet moment, really, because this is the salon that I started out of fresh out of COVID when it came to transitioning when the world opened back up. I would say finding a way to manage now having the clients that I was going to during COVID when the world was shut down and people still needed to get their hair done, versus do I want to abort this entire thing that I decided to bring back with me from college, that just literally started off as like something that I did for fun, or do I want to really invest in it and pour into myself and pour into my craft and see where this can take me? So, with that being said, like I said, this transition right now is bittersweet because I don't have too many complaints or things about the environment that I was in that pushed me in a negative way to leave. But I will say it has come to a point where I do think I have outgrown my time personally in this space. And that is also okay. These people will always be my family. Hopefully, I'll always be able to maintain a healthy relationship with them where if I needed to come back, if they wanted me to come back, it would just always be, just a healthy relationship where it's always a space where I feel welcome. And even now in leaving, that's currently how I feel no matter what. So I appreciate these people and everything that they have invested into me as far as knowledge, opportunity, all the things. But like I said, it is on to new, bigger, and better things, greater opportunity. And I'm excited about that. So if you're interested in seeing that transition, aside from just this mini montage in this video, definitely stay tuned on the journey on my channel overall. And then if you want to stay tuned with the hair specific content, please make sure that you are following me on TikTok at For the Love of Locks, FORTHELOVLOCS LLC. And then also, it is the same thing on Instagram, but I will also leave that information as well in the description. But shameless plug, like I said, I'm just trying to invest more into myself and the life that I want to curate for myself. And that's honestly kind of where the conversation with my high school advisor wound up going to. at some point because we were just getting caught up with life in general. Sis got married on me. I said, whoa. First of all, she's always had a beautiful and unique name. And I'm one to speak, and I say this in a humble way because I do get a lot of compliments on my name since my first name is hyphenated. But I don't want to disclose her government, but she really does have a beautiful name. And then the name that changed from her maiden name to her married name is also very unique. So I'm like, okay, girl, when her contact in my phone updated, I said, ooh, clock it. But anyway, the conversation with her made me feel like I was in the right space where I need to be in my personal life and what I want to do with entrepreneurship, but also with what I want to do as far as my career, I think, or what I want to establish as far as a career and making my experience as an educator into a career, no matter how long that journey is for me. But I didn't even get to fully talk to her about what I wanted to talk about. But in that conversation, she mentioned basically like ultimately the mindset that you have convinces you to make the choices that you make. And whether you are making decisions because you are someone who is actually conscious and observant and taking things in to then be able to process and have an actual response and reaction, or if it's something that you are experiencing and choosing to do by going with the flow, no matter what the outcome is, you still made the choice. So that was really powerful. And that's not necessarily how she said it, but that's how I'm trying to paraphrase it without saying too much about what our actual conversation was about. But that was very reassuring to hear from her. Also, the student that we ran into from my high school that I only had the experience and the pleasure of having the high school experience with, she also was telling us about just like her journey in life since the last time we spoke, catching up. And she made a similar comment about, you can become, excuse me, a product of your environment, or you can choose to do something about it. And just know that whatever role that you choose to play, both of those come with consequences or side effects, however you want to put that. But it's just interesting because I never thought that I would be in education in this way and still, even if I wanted to be in education, be able to balance my entrepreneurial life for so long. So I would just say clap it up to me because that was definitely an intentional effort. But I'm just proud of myself for not stopping, even when I felt like it was becoming too much, no matter what I was experiencing on either end. But then I also want to say that I love the fact that I'm not the only one and I'm not as unique as I thought I was, because that also can be a very lonely experience as well. So the conversation that I was having with my friend and my counselor was very heartwarming because when I reflected, I'm like, she also pretty much is someone who's well versed and knowing and understanding what it's like to be in the academic space and feel like the experience that we had from the school that we went to prepared us in a way that was so unique, even just for us to go to college. So now it's like the role of being an educator or in that space is like a culture shock because most schools are not structured the way that our school was structured, and we were in that environment for so long. And talking to this friend also was important to me too because she's not only an educator, but she also is an entrepreneur as well. She's an event curator. And literally, we share the same sentiments or similar sentiments about pretty much everything that we feel on both sides, to be honest. And I really should say on all three fronts because I'm really referring to her perspective as having that background in education, just our personal education experience, then having the background or the perspective of being a teacher and balancing the lifestyle of an active entrepreneur. I will say that I do have other friends as well who have just regular or traditional corporate jobs, and they're also balancing an entrepreneurial life as well. But what I will say is that I'm proud of myself and all of us in that category that are balancing that lifestyle. But I wish that there was more support for people like us. This is the stuff y'all don't see, but this is the behind the scene of the coaches coming together to bring the summer jam to life. Shout out to Alicia for letting us use her beautiful backyard and doing what he do best, leading by example. Thank you for strong leadership. And we getting ready to lock in. Practice, dress rehearsal, and then Saturday is the actual event. Y'all, I'm tired, but literally everybody here is tired. So I can't even complain because I was the last one to show up. One of us traveled all the way from New York. And I'm here, so we thrive. We getting ready to lock in.
Slide it left, take it up, and bring it back. Three.